Some of you know me. My name is Justine Backus. My pronouns, as listed on this beautiful button, are they, them. I've thought a lot about what I was going to say today. I have thought a lot about what I would be able to say without crying. It's fine, I've cried in front of most of you before. I can't promise that I won't cry. However, for anyone who may misinterpret those tears as weakness or sadness, I want to clarify that they arise from a place of fierceness, from a place of rage in the face of injustice, and from a deep empathy for my people. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person. This is not an abstract belief. It is a call to action. It is a call to action. Today, we explore how honoring the pronouns of our transgender and non-binary siblings is an essential practice in justice, respect, and love. While this sermon is not intended as a primer on transgender identities, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a few key points. Each transgender person's experience is unique. Like much of the human experience, understanding trans identities requires exploring nuance and looking beyond the archaic, Eurocentric sociological perspective in which our country is mired. The simplest definition of transgender, often shortened to trans and will be often here, is a person whose gender identity differs from that which is typically associated with the sex they were assigned at birth. Sex, gender, and sexual orientation are distinct concepts, with gender being socially constructed, variable, fluid, and when pertaining to someone else's, none of your business. Lastly, while many of you have probably heard the term preferred pronouns and may have used it with good intentions, it creates the impression that pronouns other than those specified by an individual are acceptable, when in fact they are not. Whatever pronoun someone provides to you are their pronouns. I assure you that this is as technical as the sermon will get. For those who wish to gain more information or deepen their understanding, I am happy to speak with anyone later and share my perspective as a trans non-binary person. Words shape our world. They can heal or harm, include or exclude. Today, in this shared space, I want us all to recognize that pronouns are not just grammar. They are a vital part of a person's identity. When we commit to using a person's pronouns, we are not merely being polite, we are embodying our values. Throughout history, naming has been a sacred act. In many spiritual traditions, a name is not just a label, but an expression of a person's essence. Our Unitarian and Universalist ancestors understood this when they fought for religious freedom, the dignity of all people, and a world where everyone could define themselves freely. For transgender and non-binary people, being addressed by their name and pronouns is not a small request. It is a fundamental affirmation of their humanity. We deny a person's dignity and truth when we refuse to honor their identity. But when we embrace and affirm them, we are fostering a world where all people can live fully and authentically. Unitarian Universalism calls people to build a world of justice and compassion. The first of our 7 principles affirms the inherent worth and dignity of every person. But that dignity is not just a theoretical concept, it requires real action. Justice is not passive. It requires us to listen, to learn, and to change. Some of us may struggle with using new pronouns or adjusting our language, and that's okay. What matters is that we try, and then we try again. Growth can be uncomfortable, but discomfort is the first step towards transformation. Trans and non-binary people, especially trans youth and trans women of color, face disproportionately high rates of discrimination and violence. Studies show that when a trans person's name and pronouns are respected, their risk of depression and suicide drops dramatically. This is not just about being kind. It is about saving people's lives. The political climate continues to make being openly transgender, non-binary, or queer more and more dangerous. Anti-LGBTQIA+ legislation, public rhetoric, and violence are escalating. forcing many trans people to choose between visibility and safety. When only transgender and non-binary people are expected to share their pronouns, it sets us apart. It marks us as different, in a world where difference is too often met with hostility. But when everyone normalizes the practice of stating their pronouns, it removes the burden. We help create an environment where trans and non-binary people do not have to out themselves to be seen and respected. Making pronoun sharing a standard practice is a small but powerful act of solidarity. It says, you are not alone. We stand with you. It affirms that justice is not just about individual choices, but about shaping a culture where everyone can live without fear. This is a part of our responsibility. We are committed to inclusivity. A commitment to radical inclusivity cannot be passive. You must live it. You must speak it. You must practice it in ways that provide real safety and belonging for our trans and non-binary siblings. Unitarian Universalist theologian James Luther Adams highlighted the concept of a prophethood of all believers, emphasizing that each of us contributes to cultivating a more just and loving world. If we stand for radical inclusion and a beloved community, we must take action accordingly. UUA President Reverend Sophia Betancourt emphasizes our obligation towards communal care. The care is essential for achieving justice. It embodies our processes of teaching and learning from one another. Communal care also nurtures our faith, whatever that faith is. It emerges from the small, everyday actions that connect communities together. And it is found in the ambitious visions we hold for the future, aspirations that can only be fulfilled over generations. Communal care urges us to be good ancestors, establishing a foundation of love and justice to support those who are yet to come. Claiming to be welcoming requires us to change our language. We cannot uphold the dignity of all individuals if we deny them the fundamental recognition of their identities. And we are not practicing communal care if a portion of our community is excluded, the justice they seek ignored, simply because you are uncomfortable or stubborn about changing your language. So today, let us commit to honoring each person's pronouns as an act of justice. Let us commit to nurturing this space as one where trans and non-binary people are not just tolerated, but celebrated. Let us affirm the inherent worth and dignity for all the members and friends here daily through our actions. Now we'll have the offering. You can put money in the little basket, or you can scan the little QR code on the back of your order of service.
Don't stay, shadows fool the mind. Don't glance around for what may be concealed. Just close your eyes and all will be revealed.
Don't dance, it's not that kind of song. Don't go, the exit signs are wrong. Don't run away, it's much too dark to run.
these thoughts get in the way.
Don't speak, there's nothing left to say.
Don't write it down with such a trembling hand. Just say